welcome back to Cityline. Well, as I said when we opened, we were going to have, and we have them now with us, Cascade Regional Blood Services. The Director of Donor Resources, Rachel Lynch, is here today. Hello, Rachel, and welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
My dear, it has been in the news that we are experiencing, we as in the Pacific Northwest, a blood shortage. Is Cascade Regional Blood Services also experiencing that?
Yes, we are. Actually, the entire US is experiencing a blood shortage, and the Pacific Northwest is as well. We actually just this past weekend had a trauma here in the Pierce County, which used a large amount of blood, which drastically affected our blood supply even more. So we really need people to get out and donate, which is the case all the time. But because of the trauma this past weekend, it really depleted our blood supply.
Before we came online, I was looking at some of the information about Cascade Regional Blood Services. You have your 75th anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question because people are moving to our great city all the time. People are not familiar with Cascade Regional Blood Services. Can you give us an overview of, yes, you take in blood, but it's so much more than that?
Yeah, we've been around for 75 years. We started as the Tacoma Pierce Blood Bank. And, it's so critical. People don't realize how much blood is used, right? It's used for when someone has cancer or when there is an accident or a trauma, right? And it's just so important for people to donate. And there's such a small portion of the population that donates. When the blood bank was created, a lot of people looked at it as their civic duty to donate blood. And it just was part of the education process, right? When kids were in school, they learned about donating blood and they learned about it from a young age and when they were in high school, and it just became ingrained in them. But that is not the case anymore. So people don't think about it as the natural part of just their adult life. And so, we've been part of this community for such a long time. And it's awesome that we're celebrating our 75th anniversary. We've been part of the hospital community, part of the Tacoma community, part of the Pierce County community. It's just such a fantastic thing to be such a large part of this, community here.
And because you are such a large part of it, Cascade Regional Blood Services is helping blood centers in the Midwest right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's hard because we, have a blood shortage ourselves, but we always do whatever we can to help other blood centers throughout the United States. Obviously, the Midwest is having a really hard time, with the weather. And anytime there is, either a trauma somewhere else or like the pandemic or, a storm, something happens, other blood centers will reach out and ask for help. And we always do whatever we can to help in other situations like that.
Yeah, boy, the Midwest, they have been hit hard, and I can see that need for blood.
Yeah.
So let's talk about right now, if we go in to give blood or when we go in to give blood, is COVID-19 virus transmissible through blood?
No, there have been no known cases of or documented cases of transmission of COVID through blood transfusions.
Okay, so right now, are you collecting COVID-19 plasma?
Yep, we're still collecting CCP. So if someone has been sick with COVID or they know someone that's been sick with COVID, we would still love it if they could come in and donate CCP, because people in the hospitals who are really sick with COVID, they could still use that to help them recover.
So speaking of that, how much CCP has Cascade Regional Blood Services supplied the local hospitals?
We've supplied several hundred units to the local hospitals.
Wow, that is impressive. So we are all in lining up to get our vaccines. So can you donate blood after receiving the COVID vaccine, Rachel?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And is the staff at Cascade Regional Blood Services receiving first line vaccinations?
Yes, our staff are considered healthcare workers, so we are part of phase 1 for receiving the vaccine.
Excellent. So I had read the FDA has announced changes in donor eligibility. Will they continue after COVID-19 is under control? And what
Yes.
are those changes?
Yep, so there are changes for the HIV risk factors. So those have gone from 12 months to 3 months. There are changes for the deferral requirements if someone was on a military base in Europe. Also changes for the malaria risk factors from 12 months to 3 months.
And when you say changes, like in the malaria factor, are you talking about quarantine of how long you have to wait in order to give blood once you've been in those areas?
Correct. So if you've been to a country that has quarantine because of malaria risk factors, previously you would be deferred for 12 months, and now you would only be deferred for 3 months.
Okay.
So you'd have to wait for, previously you would have had to wait for 12 months before you could donate, and now you only have to wait for 3 months.
Is that because of the shortage or because of the vaccine or both?
It's because of the shortage, because there's such a critical need for blood right now, and there's not as many people donating because there are so many people staying at home. So the FDA lifted some of those restrictions in order to try to get more people to donate.
So then that leads me back to the question I think about what people would say, well, then is it still safe?
Absolutely. Still safe to donate. And more people should donate on a regular basis.
That's right. So Rachel, walk us through from your website to how we end up with the fabulous juice and cookies. Walk us through blood donation if I were to donate tomorrow.
Yeah. So you can visit our website, which is crbs.net, make an appointment to donate. Then you would come into one of our centers or one of our blood drives on the day that you have that appointment. When you get to our center, you will fill out paperwork and register, right, which is your name, your phone number, the important stuff, so we know how to contact you. Then you would you would go into a room and answer some health history questions. Make sure that you're healthy, right? Get your blood pressure, your temperature. After that's done, you would go sit on the bed and get your stick, the needle. Then they would draw your blood. The blood draw itself usually takes less than 15 minutes. Then you'd sit there and make sure you feel good afterwards. And then you get to go into the canteen where you get your cookie and your juice. And then that's it. Then you're done. Pretty simple. Painless. Yep.
So Rachel, who should not give blood? When you said they're going to, go through a health screener and check your health. So automatically right off the top, who does not qualify to give blood?
Yeah, there's on our website, there are, certain reasons, certain medications. If you have a history of, medical reasons, maybe cancer or other, history of medical reasons, there's a complete list on our website of certain reasons why you might be deferred or reasons why you might not want to donate. And all of those reasons will be listed on our website.
Is there a certain blood type that you are always looking for?
Yeah, so O negative is really important. Right now we are in very critical need of O negative and O positive. And
Okay.
we're actually getting ready to do what we call a plea tomorrow because we're in such critical need for those blood types right now.
So what does that plea look like?
We basically will be reaching out to our entire donor base and saying, please come donate because we really need the blood.
So Rachel, when you say donor base, how often can you donate blood and how big is the donor base?
Our donor base it's about 30,000 donors. I mean, it's definitely bigger than that, right? Because it's 75 years of donors, but our regular donor base is about 30,000. What was your other question?
How often can you donate?
Oh, every 56 days. So you can donate whole blood every 56 days.
That's impressive. So you can just put it on your little Google iPhone calendar and regularly contribute to the gift of life.
Absolutely.
You have opened up a temporary donation center in Gig Harbor, of all places, to better serve the community. Where is it located?
It is located next to Albertsons and Target, right over by the Costco in Gig Harbor. And the goal is that people who live over on that side of the bridge don't have to pay the toll to come across. You know, for our Gig Harbor donors, our Kitsap County donors. And, you know, we're thinking about the possibility of staying over there long term. We did have a couple of drives over there every week. And so, you know, we're just kind of looking at the possibilities of being over there long term. And it's been great so far. We have a really fantastic donor base over there. And I have high hopes. I live over on that side too. And so it's near and dear to my heart. So I'm very excited about the possibilities.
Well, having it there opens you up to a whole swath of people, even in that Bremerton, Port Orchard kind of area, where, as you said, may not want to cross the bridge. So you are tapping into a phenomenal community over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rachel, when I asked you to describe how we give blood, you had said, go to the website, and we've been showing the website across your beautiful face. You've updated that website to better serve our clients. What types of changes were made?
Yeah, so we actually are launching today a new donor portal where our donors can sign up to be able to see their past appointments, make appointments directly on their donor portal. They can see their test results, their hematocrit. They can view all of their future appointments. So if they want to go ahead and make appointments for every 56 days, so they have it set up for the entire calendar year, they can do that. We also are launching a donor loyalty program where every time they donate, they get points, and then they can use those points in our donor store to get all kinds of cool items and swag. And we're super excited about it. And we've been working on it for a long time, and that launches today. So I think it's going to be really fantastic. There's also opportunity to do surveys and give us feedback about their customer experience, and just a lot of great ways to interact with our donors and give them new ways to interact with us.
That is wonderful. Yeah. Rachel, thank you so very much for all the information that you bring, and the way that you lower those barriers, because there's many of them right now as we are still, you know, dealing with sheltering in place, and make it so much easier for people to give blood. So thank you so much, and get out there and give blood, because we need it.
We do. Absolutely.
We have much more to come on Cityline, so don't go away. We'll be right back.